I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even
What's
good.
going on,
You
world?
were born
Welcome to
be
another
great.
edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ. Joined live and in person
Live.
with the Bayesian sensation.
It's not even 7 o'clock in the morning.
Not even 7 o'clock in the morning. And I got a 1 month old, so I slept about an hour and a half. But we here getting it in anyway.
With no AC, kid.
With no
It
AC.
didn't kick on, kid. I don't know what happened, kid. Did you cut it off, kid?
I'm not sure we paid the utility bill this month.
Don't feel like it.
With all the things going on, the boot camp and all the other stuff, apparently somebody forgot to pay the bills. But also, I got the hip hop preacher in the building. How you feeling?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm just ready to get going, man. I feel like that 1 week we missed, like we missed 6 weeks.
Oh yeah, no,
You know what I'm
we
saying?
definitely got some making up to do. There's no question about that. We definitely got some making up to do. And I guess we'll start it off with the Am I Tripping Or? But E hit me yesterday and said, let me do the Am I Tripping Or?
And I might be
I got
off.
something
Yeah,
for you.
I might be off, but am I tripping or does my wife and other professional shoppers shop for 5-6 hours, right? I'm talking about we shop for 4, 5, 6 hours. First of all, my girl don't even buy nothing. Like she's geeked up at Macy's because what Macy's does is they say it was $1,000, but you spent $272 and saved $7, and she geeked like it's like a course. I'm like, this ain't no course. Like she's like, you can't beat that.
It's all about the total sale,
Yeah.
not about how much you spent.
Right.
My wife hit me with that all the
She spent
time.
200 something, but saved
No.
it, you
Yeah.
know, it was
No,
$1,000 total.
Oh, yeah.
Saved 700. But why does
You
she?
could spend 200 grand and be like, look, I saved 50,000. It's like, no, we still
Yeah, we
down,
still down too.
200,000.
And more importantly, we're down the time that I wasted.
Right.
Like we was in there for 4, 5 hours. So
Well,
my girl-
no, you're good though. You be actually in there like going in.
Oh yeah.
Shopping.
Let me tell you how bad it is for me. I'm gonna be real. I had to go to the Lord a few years ago, and at the beginning of the
pray.
year, I made a New Year's resolution. This is not a joke. You could tell, you could ask my wife, and I was like, yo, I'm really going to try. But I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Once I get in there,
there.
especially if we're in a certain store for too long,
I'm talking about your body.
I get fatigued. No. I'm talking about my
for real,
calves.
man.
And
No, for real.
my calves start burning, my hamstrings. And then, you know, I'm big, so I'm standing in like these little aisles. I'm knocking over blouses
I feel like
and
I'm
purses.
fasting after a while. Like I'm
So,
fasting.
hey, I'll
man.
tell you, my mother trained us well because my mother, I tell you, I was like as a kid, and my mother, I remember going to 3 different grocery stores looking at the same items.
Oh,
3
no.
different stores, and she would go back to the
Yeah, you
first
gotta waste
one.
money to me. You waste
Because
money doing
she
that.
went back to the first one because it was like 4 cents cheaper.
Oh,
But I
4
know we
cents
spent
cheaper,
the
though.
4 cent though.
and the
Driving
gas,
to get
yeah,
there.
on the journey.
I'm
and the
telling you
gas
now.
to get, no.
So I'm tripping though because we did the 4 to the 5 hours,
Yeah.
and then as we were leaving, I don't know if the aisle wasn't there when we like. Maybe it's not open to you until you cash out, but it was this magical
No, they
that
restocked.
appeared
Right.
I was
right
there
there.
5 hours. Another truck that
And then
came
she's
in.
like, all right, let me just look at this real quick. I'm like, yo, you didn't see that? The 4, 5, we was here. So am I tripping or we cash out? Then we do a little bit more last minute shopping like it's Christmas. So yeah, man, I'm just like, whoa, this
Professional shopping.
And then they,
bro.
and then they
She
done
should get credits for it.
came through and dropped all the gifts off to
Ooh.
Avery. So Lil Mama got clothes until she 15 years
I
old.
promise you, I was
man.
trying to just say this. I was helping her with that one so it could go by quick.
Oh yeah, no.
I was like, okay, boom, boom,
That's
boom,
a
boom.
strategy I learned though, because back in the day when I was young, a novice, when I first was married,
yeah.
what I would do is I would go in and I would be so defeated that I wouldn't participate.
Right.
So I sit there and she might rifle off, 50,000 dresses to get one. And so then now I'm saying, I see what I like.
Yeah.
I go find it here. Try this
Boom,
on.
let's get there.
And let me tell you, shoot, I shouldn't even reveal
Wisdom,
this. 'cause
wisdom.
This is for the
Yeah,
podcast, but I should not reveal my
She gonna
secret.
be listening.
Yes.
Yeah, she gonna be listening.
But the key is, Ken, are you listening? The key is never say you like the first one.
Right.
Because then it look like you just want to get out of it. So when they come out the first
What's
time,
the magic
you
number?
gotta
Is
be
it
like,
3? Is it 3?
It's no, you can go 2.
Right.
If you hurting, you can go 2. I would suggest you hold off to the 3rd. Because
Right.
then it's like all the way sincere.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But never ever. The first one she's gonna say, you saying that because you ready to go. So first time, I don't care what it is. It's 5, it don't matter. I'll
Hey,
be
how was
"Ooh,
the
it's good, but I don't like the high contour right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Second one, depending on how I'm feeling, the second one, I'm like, ooh.
I'm gonna let Carl go with this since we.
Oh no, I was gonna ask him
I
something
promise
else.
you,
I was
I'm
gonna
sorry, man.
one.
I'm never
Well,
going
let me give you a
shopping
secret
again.
Get yours first. I'm gonna ask something else.
Fellas, right? We trying to help y'all out here. Fellas, if you want to hurry up and get out of there, or you want to have a great relationship with your spouse,
Yeah.
Stay posted up at the fitting room. All right, stay posted up.
No, because you know what?
telling you.
I'm throwing a flag on that because I feel like a perv sometimes.
Thank you. I was gonna
It be
say
like
it's
other ladies
awkward
coming out. I'm
in.
like,
and you sitting right
I don't
there.
care nothing about them other ladies.
I'm like, homegirl done walked out. She got her dress half on. You sitting there like, hello.
Hey, my wife knows.
How are you? You know what I'm saying, girl?
I'm not there for that.
I'm trying to go blind every time somebody else's wife come out.
I'm helping
Look at
my
your
man.
phone.
Look,
Yeah,
fellas,
nah,
I'm
it's
telling
embarrassing,
you,
bruh.
whatever you do, don't have your wife looking for you
when she
she
come
got
out?
that outfit on. She come out like what? Like post
no,
right
no,
there,
no.
and as she coming out, you let her
Well,
know
I'm
how
saying,
that
where
sucker
would you
look.
be anyway?
I'm just saying, I used to like, I go to Macy's, right? I've been around. Y'all, ain't veterans like me.
Oh, yeah,
but
no.
Macy's got a spot where it's a restaurant and a TV. So they got restaurants
catching
in
the
Macy's.
game.
So
No.
I used to go watch the game during that time, or I would go in the restaurant and get me something to eat.
Oh, no, she
now
gotta look for
I'm
you.
right there. Yeah,
And you know
she's
she
got
ain't
to
trying to
look for
walk
me.
through the whole store
or
with the
call,
outfit
or
on.
call me,
Oh, yeah.
or
Nah,
text me.
yeah,
So
no,
now
don't do that.
I just stay posted
No,
near.
don't.
I wait for
But
that
what
voice
is
and
it
boom.
about the fitting room though? That's like an hour-and-a-half process to
Yeah.
Yo, I go in the fitting room. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Superman in the phone booth.
Well, I think they doing different
because I got to
outfits,
try out
though.
stuff for her too.
Yeah.
Like when she make
Yeah.
me that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
That's even
While we
worse.
talking, that's even
even
worse.
worse.
Is when I gotta buy clothes. We wear t-shirts and jeans. You know how we get down in this company. And you lucky if you get jeans. You probably was swagging it out with some jogging pants.
This trip to Atlanta, it was Sean John and the white linen, and I had to try on like 4 different.
All white.
Yeah,
for,
all white, yeah.
Oh, you coming out the thing, blue out. You got your nipples out. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like unbelievable. No, that's the worst. And in some kind of way, my wife, she just enjoys the process. So I'll tell you what's so dope is when my mom comes down, and this is another way I got. My mom love to shop too, and I always tell my wife, look, I'll up your budget if I don't have to go. That's how I kind of like,
Get your
man,
moms
like,
to
you know what I'm saying?
run
I'm like,
that.
yo, for real. It's like a extra thou in the bag if I don't have to go. Why? Because I can actually work while y'all gone.
And make that money back.
Whatever it is, because I'm in charge. It's not like, look, for everybody, all my ladies listening, I ain't put my wife on no budget to tell her what she could spend and nothing, but I manage the money at the house. Go figure. My wife managed $1 million budgets at work, but in the house, with our little money, I'm like the budget king. So I let her know, hey, okay, you going out, whatever. And I always tell her like, yo, if I don't have to go, you can, upgrade it. But Carl, you absolutely right, man. When you sitting there, man, and you got other women come, and I'm saying, I'm gonna tell you what'll really have you smoking though. Is when you see homegirl, she done came out 4-5 times, put on 4-5 outfits, and you ain't seen your wife in a half hour.
The first one.
You like,
she's still on the
what
first
in the-
one.
Ken, you know what I'm laughing at about this whole thing? Because we analyze. I'm laughing because I'm like, yo, I guess because of where we are, Didi's only part-time. You know what I'm saying? So the time we shop, ain't none of them there. You know what I'm saying?
It's levels.
I'm saying
It's
for real.
levels.
Me and D shopping at.
I don't know if we're ready for that.
At 11:30 in the morning, 1 o'clock, and those people y'all talking about, they not there. I'm literally with the walkers in the morning.
the old people.
Yeah, the senior. Don't say old, Carl.
My
Somebody
fault.
about
The
to
mature generation,
They about
my fault.
to cut these podcasts off. I'm ain't talking about old. Yeah, I'm serious. But they walking around when I'm there in the morning. So I'm just laughing because I'm like, yo, I'm not even in the mall during the time. I need to go when they go. I'm not even in the mall when they're in the mall. Those guys. Levels to this, Carl.
We going on the
There's
weekend.
levels to
we
this.
going on the weekend.
Yeah.
That's one good thing about having the little babies. Let me
yeah,
tell you
so
something. We can't
yeah.
go in there.
Yeah.
Trey would tear that spot up.
Little
So
man
now-
Jordan used to enjoy trying to get lost, but what he would do is run under the clothes.
Oh yeah.
And it's just man.
Oh yeah, no. And then I'm like, and I'm to the point now where I told Candace yesterday I gotta up my whipping count. Cause little man, you know what I'm saying? Like in the airport, stuff like that. Like, okay, I understand you too. I'm gonna give you some flexibility.
Some space.
But like when you run and then you think it's funny and I got to chase you down, like we gotta get that. We working on getting. Yeah, I got to.
I should have had to call you that one time.
I gotta get that tat out. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're making me look like an unfit parent. You know what I'm saying? I'm chasing you around. Trey, I'm running around the airport. I'm like, we're not getting ready to
how
have
was it
that.
traveling with Avery for the first time?
You know what? It was okay. It was pretty decent. My wife wanted to get to the airport early to go to Chick-fil-A. crazy.
Oh, to get the Chick-fil-A.
No.
I thought you said early because of the baby.
No. She wants Chick-fil-A. So we got there early, like super early to get to Chick-fil-A. We took the parking ride. You know what I mean? So, and then of course, I promise you. No, I'm not. I'm always. I tip. We went over this. You know what I'm saying? But anytime it's just me by myself, or like I got me and Candace or whatever, when I need no help with anything bag-wise, the dude from the parking ride always come off super. I'm like, boo, my man, I could have got me and my girl stuff and put it on there myself. You know what I'm saying? So yesterday, we got strollers, diaper bags, all kind of bags. Homegirl pulled up. She was like, hit the door, was like, y'all good? I'm like, the one time I need somebody to run down and pick up the stuff. So I look at my girl, I'm like, boo, just get in there, I got it. So Avery was good. One of the tricks of the trade that we learned with Trey is that if she nurses
during the
takeoff and the landing, the pressure ain't as bad, so her ears never pop, and she slept through the whole flight. And it was funny because you know how it is, Carl, when you jump on the plane and you got a 2-year-old and a brand new baby, people looking like, oh, it's about to be off the chain.
flight. Yeah.
But we got Trey with the iPad, and there's another. Look, I'm giving out some major life hacks.
We're gonna have to start charging.
Yo,
for this,
you have to get him. I got him the big
headphones.
Beats by Dre.
He ain't hearing nothing.
I'm talking about it shut out the whole world. See, now you do some of the little tiny, we had bought him some little jams, right? They called them jams. They was like the little kiddo joints. And I'm talking about he could hear everything. I'm like, Trey, he like, huh? I've got him the big Beats by Dre on. This little joker, I'm talking about,
you didn't know he was on the plane.
Oh, what? I'm talking about he was zoned out the entire time. And we actually learned that because me and Candace was like, yo, we ain't been on a date in a while. So, you know, we had Trey, we was like, we're gonna take him. So we had got him the one time we had brought him with the big beats. And we had him with a little iPad. We had a nice little romantic dinner. Little man wasn't even there. And we looked like the worst parents in the world. I know folk was judging us. They was like, hey, I'm talking about Trey was sitting there like this, bro.
Did he eat?
Hadn't moved
Did he get something to eat?
He didn't eat nothing. He didn't touch a bite. As soon as you try to feed him, he like this, right? So me and Ken sat there for about an hour and a half. I'm talking about gazing into each other's eyes. Nice romantic dinner. You know what I'm saying? Little man right there. And folk was walking by like, they not engaged at all. I was like, look, judge me not. You know what I'm saying? So another trick of the trade, but it was cool, man. We end up, of course, flying into Flint. Pops came and scooped us, man. So yeah, it was actually relatively easy. Of course, Kel, my wife's younger brother, was with us, so that helps out because he could chase. Yeah, he's here. He could chase down Trey when he get loose.
Oh, that's who Jalen was talking to yesterday.
Oh, probably so.
A stupid little thing when he was on the phone and he.
Oh yeah. So
and guys, please.
Oh yeah.
Because it might be some of you like I don't have kids or whatever. It's not about kids. What we're doing is teaching you how to be
that balance.
Yeah, man, deliberate and intentional. Like you will never be successful just letting stuff happen. Yeah. Like letting your marriage happen, letting raise kids happen.
Relationships in general.
Yeah, period. Just life, man. You gotta be intentional, deliberate.
Yeah.
You have to measure. You have to analyze. You have to critical think. You know, you have to forward think. You know, for real. Think, forward think, rethink. Like this thing is real, guys. Like success doesn't happen by osmosis. You know, now some people are born into better situations than others, so it's a little bit more apparent. You know, some of us, you know, we have to create what didn't exist. But what we telling you, shopping, we intentional and deliberate about it. Like we got a plan, raising kids, you know what I'm saying? Podcasts, TGIM, like for real, we're very intentional and deliberate. So this isn't about what you're hearing, but it is about whatever your life, you know, is consumed with. You better make sure you're not just letting it happen. You better take the bull by the horn and you better create it, man. Especially if it doesn't exist, you better create that thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's one of the big things. And before that, let me say you just mentioned something. I'll be remiss if we didn't say, shout out to Jay Boog, 21 yesterday.
Years old.
Right, he turned 21 yesterday. The big 2-1, he's legal. Ladies, back off him. Give him a little time, give him some time to graduate. But Jalen is legal. And Carl and I were talking, E, while you were on the phone when we first came in this morning, and we were just like, wow, like to me it's scary. Like I look at Jalen, like I remember when Jalen was like closer to our kids' age than he is the age he is now. And just watching him grow up, to be just a solid young man. I remember it was times where I used to have to reassure Didi and E.
It's gonna be
they used to be on Jay Boog. Hey, Jay forgot to take out the trash. Didi like, oh, CJ, I don't know what to do with him. I said, give him some time, he'd be all right. But he just finished up his internship over there with Jay-Z and The Rock. Of course, he wants to be a sports agent, and he's working towards those dreams and goals, and turned 21 yesterday, man, and I couldn't be prouder. I FaceTime with him and my son, Trey, love to get on the FaceTime together. For whatever reason, Trey always see Jalen and, like, make him turn his hat around. So he just loved Jalen, man, and Jalen is, like, the coolest kid for little kids, you know what I mean? And so shout out to Jalen, happy birthday, man. I know y'all went out to eat. How was that with the fam? I didn't get an invite, you know what I'm saying? I went home and ate PB&J, no, I'm just playing.
No, you know how it is. Didi and her nucleus, but it was cool. You know me, man, I'm a little different. For me, he 21, it's like, it's time for you to grow up. It's time for you to, make that move. This was a serious talk. Like, you 21 now. Yeah. Every decision you make from this point forth, it counts. You can't, you don't get another man. This ain't a video game, know. But mom, of course, it's her baby. She had bought him a gift and, wanted to present it and had it all. I'm just like, whatever, But overall, man, it's always, good. We sat down as a family, and my son was like, man, we haven't sit down and, had a meal in 7 weeks. And that was because he had his intern in New York. But to be able to have traditions now, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to, be in I just want to say this, man, like, I'm not going to necessarily say the gift that my wife bought for him, but I will say this. It's good, man, to be in a position where you have options, and to have a child 21 and to be able to give him a car, to be able to give him, an apartment, because he's in school, to be able to help pay for him to go to school. Like, that's big, man. A lot of dudes I know my age, are still starting, they're still trying. And it's just a good feeling, man, to be able to be a solid example to my children, going to work. They see me going to work. They see me sometimes 6 o'clock in the morning leaving, getting on a flight. Their friends talk about me. Where they work, they see the videos. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's just a good feeling.
You said something deep the other day to me, though. I was asking E about, like the whole birthday thing, and E was saying, just talk about that a minute. Like, it's a lot of people that's paying $25,000 to put their kids, to get a lawyer, to go through all this kind of stuff. And now your son in a position where you could bless him with not $25,000, but you want to take care of him because he not, that.
Well, what happened was my wife bought him a pretty expensive gift, I think. You know what I'm saying? She was kind of like feeling like, well, how you think? What do you think? Is this, am I doing too much? And we talked about it. Like, it's kids who have cost their parents $25,000-$50,000. They're in prison.
And not for school.
Yeah, or had to write their house off, for a bond. You know what I'm saying? Or, whatever, just getting in trouble.
DUI.
DUIs, just a lot of stuff. And I'm like, my man 21, and he hasn't cost us a dime, from a negative standpoint. So I'm like, my man saved you money by doing good. And it's the deal. I don't know why we give so much attention to the negative and we don't give the same energy to the positive. Like, I'm not saying, like, I believe in chastising mine. Jalen lets you know, like, I don't play with it. Like, I'm very, like, these are things that I don't believe in, and I'm not going to believe in them because you my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not into that. Like, I'm not going to say it's okay because you my child. It's like, I don't believe in it. I don't think it's right. Of course, you have to make your final decisions, but I'm going to be on your head. But at the same time, I asked him to do something for me in terms of research to prepare for this professional opportunity we had. And I was like, you did a phenomenal job. You did way beyond, you know what I'm saying? I want to reward you for that. So I just want to say to my parents, employees, leaders, whatever, like, you can't, like, super duper come down on people hard when they don't do what they're supposed to do, and not super duper when they do right. Give them that same affirmation, and reward.
It's a practical one you did with the car insurance.
Oh,
remember
man.
that? Talk to me about that.
The car insurance, boy. And people thought I was stupid. I was like, I give you $500 a year if you don't get a ticket. People like, why would you pay him to do what he's supposed to do. Because if he tear up my car, I got to pay to get the car fixed. I got to pay for the ticket, the deductible. I got to pay insurance. So if I give you, I'd rather give you the $500 than give him the $1,500. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
or the $2,000. So I'd rather give it to you. And sure enough, Jay never got into an accident. Now he got into one, but it wasn't his fault. There was a snow plowing service that backed up into him, and I'm talking about frightened. So that really helped him slow down. So he's never got any moving violations, or anything of that nature. So it's worth it to me. Now he's 21, so we through with the 500. We through. You know what I'm
You're on your own now.
You're on your own now. But it worked. And why did I do it up to 21? Because once you turn 21, the insurance rates change for me. But when you're a child, if you get into an accident at 16, 17, 18, like, man, my premium go all the way up. So I'm just saying, for real, y'all, some stuff you do because people tell you to do it or you feel like I don't want to. No, bump that. You got to do what's in the best. Now, I've never done that for my daughter. And I don't have to do that for Jada. Because Jada ain't on that. Jada's trying not to get a ticket because Jada just don't want to get a ticket. So, you have to do the same thing with each child. But again, intentional, deliberate, strategies, you strategic. That's what it's about. We're not playing checkers no more, y'all. We're playing chess. We got a family to feed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one of the things I want you to talk about, when we were thinking about what we were going to talk about today is relationships, and just, like you're talking about it now in a family aspect, but for, my entrepreneurs, my business people out there, my, the husbands, fathers, wives, whatever, we talk about how important, relationships are to success. And I think that's one of the things that I hope people take away from, E when he goes hard and, you see these videos and the UOUs and stuff like that is, I think a lot of people take it and kind of apply it to themselves and like my own drive to get what I want in my career and, whatever, but they don't always take it and apply it to relationships. And to me, that's one of the craziest things about E, guys. Like E has friends who he met when he was like 17, 18, 19, who that when they see him, and not just because of who he is now, but even before all of this, we would go to like New York or something and he would see his friends and they would like open up their home to us. We stay in there, we wake up, they cooking breakfast. Like, Carl, you remember those road trips?
Oh, John. I'm talking about John.
Yeah,
you
John,
can call
yeah,
John
shout
at
out
any
to
time
John.
for anything.
Yeah, I mean, D Green, all these people, we would just get on the road and go, skip. Like, we would get on the road and go out to the East Coast and just be taken care of for days at a time. And you could tell that people genuinely cared for E and that the relationship was healthy and strong. And I think those relationships allowed you probably to progress in your career just as fast as anything else. And a lot of people take that for granted. And we talked about it on the Breathe You hookup yesterday. Because of the infrastructure that we've built, we get a lot of positive people around us. Like, we don't have a lot of snakes and a lot of sharks who follow us, who are, a part of this movement. So we end up having positive people. And I think those positive relationships just help us grow. You look at somebody like Josh, who we talked about, who's a business mentor of ours, who helps us, make financial decisions and things like that. Like, those are relationships that we've built. And you trying to run through life and you using the videos that ET provides just for you, and you still not applying the character relationship stuff, and you fail to get to that next level, and you missing a big piece of that.
Yeah, man, and again, this is why I try to explain to people, like, I'm really not on that religious stuff. Like, I really don't get into that. But you have to understand that it's mind, body, soul. And you know what I'm saying? And when you have three things, you can't just focus on one. It's like being a basketball player who you can shoot, but you can't dribble. Well, then you're never going to get to the hole. You know what I'm saying? Or you can shoot, but you can't play defense. So that means if you put up 30, but your boy put up 40 who you checking, like, you've not done anything. And all we're trying to teach y'all is like, it's mind, body, and soul. Like, you got to do all of them if you're going to be successful. And a big part of, the soul is being emotionally. Like, so many people want to look past the emotional parts. And I'm, y'all know, I'm got my advanced degrees at Michigan State. But I do want to say this to you guys because I think this is important. I was looking at Denzel the other day, Denzel Valentine, who is a graduate. Of course, he got drafted with the Chicago Bulls. And shout out to all of our guys, Dede, Brand Forbes, even Matt Costello got an opportunity to play and I don't say this because I'm a Spartan, but I say this because I know these kids, and I've been able to have an opportunity to watch these guys, develop from freshmen, to seniors, whatever. But when I saw Denzel make the last-minute shot at the Summer League, game-winning.
Yeah.
Season-winning shot.
Season-winning shot. So he made one to, at the end of the game, and then he made one in overtime, right? And I saw everybody was tripping about the shot he made, but what I saw was his father sitting in the stands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His mom. And I'm tripping because I'm like, for those of you who don't know, they've been in the stands, and Denzel played for his father, and his father played for Michigan State, and his brother Drew, played for Oakland, and his brother Drew now is a coach, at Oakland, University, and it's just the family, and the father and the mother is always there, and father, when they do well, the father's there. When they don't do well, Denzel looks up to his brother. He played with his brother, won a high school, championship. Shout out to Big Red, CJ School, TJ
back
School.
Back to
back. And so what people don't understand is that this kid is so balanced because of the healthy relationship he has with his father, because his father's there. You look at Venus and Serena because of Richard Williams. And so, I just don't like when people just money. What difference does it make if you make all this money, but you don't have relationships? You're not healthy.
Yeah.
So, and people don't understand. When I have a healthy relationship with my wife, when I have a healthy relationship with my children, when I have a healthy relationship with and KARL, all of that stuff gives me a solid foundation to speak from, to build from, to move from. So relationships, guys, are so important. So I just want to say to those of you who work in 60, 70 hours a week, don't forget why you're doing it. It doesn't make sense for you to say, I'm doing this for my family when you never with your family. You don't never spend time with your wife. I'll never forget, and I'm being transparent, I'll never forget when Dee Dee told me, I think it might have been our second year, maybe our first year of marriage, I was doing ministry on campus. And I came home late one night, and Dee Dee said to me, man, you know what? I hate that we got married. And I'm like, what? You hate we got married?
You said that. Every time I hear that, it's like,
cringe.
Right.
She said, not that I don't love you, but I liked it better when we were friends because we spent more time together. You know what I'm saying? And she was right. When we was friends, it was every day, all day. But once we got married, I put her in this, all right, you married, I got
box.
you now.
You good.
You in the safe box, you good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see you when I see you, but I'm about to go out here and grind for you.
Right.
I'm about to go work on my career. I'm about to blow up. And it was like, yo, E, what was you doing this for? If you was doing it for you and Dee Dee, why is Dee Dee not in the equation anymore? Why is she not with you?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So I just want to say to everybody out there, I just want you to think about why you're doing it. And if you think about why you're doing it.
And talk about that though. E, I want you to go into that because you do talk about grinding so much.
Yeah,
right.
You do talk about that. And I'll be honest, for you now, it's at a different level because you've grinded your time back. You got your time back. But talk to the guy, talk to the young lady who's grinding to get that time back. And what we mean by that, for those of you listening, and shout out to everybody watching on Periscope. Y'all say what's up to Periscope.
What up, Periscope?
We're doing Periscope for the first time. We Periscope the podcast, I think maybe the second time. Periscope, if you're watching on Periscope, this is Welcome to the Secret to Success podcast. CJ, ET, and KARL. We do this every Thursday. You can catch it on iTunes.
He's
still trying to get air.
I know we podcast.
He's still trying to get air.
You know what I'm saying? Call the electric company, kid.
Yeah, we in here hot.
You know what I'm saying?
It's early in the
You know what
morning.
I'm saying, kid?
It's like 80 degrees.
He all on the camera, working
in
the
the
camera.
studio.
He dedicated. That's what I got to love about kid.
Hey,
you
and I
taught him
told
to
y'all,
grind.
this is where we shoot TGIM. Y'all getting
yeah,
exclusive
right
backstage.
here.
You know what I mean? Hook up. Can't show y'all the warehouse. That's off limits right now, the rest of the hookup. But if you're watching on Periscope, this is the podcast. Check us out at iTunes, Secret to Success Podcast, and also on the Droid platform. We're available there too. But what I'm talking about, E, and this is brought to you by Breathe University, what I'm talking about is for those people who, okay, when we say buy your time back or grind your time back, E has worked to a point now where in the company, of course, with him being the CEO and having a strong team underneath him, he no longer has a bunch of daily trivial tasks in the same sense that he would. Now, he still works as hard. It's a different kind of work. But you just heard him say he can go to the mall at 11:30 a.m. with his wife. What are you telling the person who's saying, yo, E, that's good. You the top speaker in the world, and you hit that level where you can dial it back now from a day-to-day standpoint. But I'm still in the trenches, bruh. I made 25 grand last year, and I'm trying to blow up and go to 50 to 75 to 100. And I'm hearing you say I need to spend more time with the kids and the fam. Don't they? There was a time when you sacrificed a lot of that time, and you was on the road. We heard you talk about on the podcast when Jada was born. You was gone for 6 weeks, and so. What are you telling that person who's in that grind phase to get that time back? Not my man who making 6 figures, because we ain't on that right now. Of course, he might be able to buy a little time back, but for that person looking to get to that next level, what are you telling them about time and relationships?
I'm telling y'all all the same thing because it's a mindset. So you got a person like me who's doing very well. You know, I can demand 50,000 nationally, 100,000 internationally. So I could still be doing 20, 30 gigs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense. The more money I'm making, the more I do, the more money. But because this is my mindset, family first, when I finally got to this level, see, I say no a lot. I only do a certain amount a month so I can be with my family. So instead of now doing 20 for 7 to 10, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing 4 or 5 at 50, so I don't got to really do as much as you know what I'm saying? Right. But I can still take every gig that comes and be away from my house. That's what I'm saying. What is it really about for you when you got to be honest? Is it really about family? Because if it really is, one day you're going to get there. And when you get there, you're going to have to stop. I got to say no more now than I had to say no 10 years ago because I'm in demand. Now, here's the deal. I'm just going to be real with y'all. I got a lot of common sense. In my marriage, with my children, there's a percentage. 70% is passing. 80% I'm doing good. 90%, yeah, great. 100 and some, phenomenal. So I understand that anything below that, 50, my wife might leave me, right? 40, my kids may say they ate my guts. So what I have to make sure is that every week we getting at least a 70. And then maybe doing some extra credit to make up for, you know. So I'm being real. With my wife, I know that if I at least spend 5 hours with her a week, she's gonna be good, right? I know you have to know your spouse. How much time? Do I need to watch a movie with her? Do we need to go out to eat? Do I need to go shopping with her? Like, you need to know what can I do to at least make her happy, like average. You know, what's gonna be good? And then what you do is you make sure that, okay, I'm putting these 40 hours in or these 50 hours in, but those extra 20 that I have or the extra 10, guess what I might have to do? I might have to sacrifice football on Sunday and spend that time with my wife on Lifetime for Women. So I only got 20. So I don't have 24. And so this is to the brother who's saying, yo, E, I got to give up going to the bar with the fellas. I got to give up golfing. Yeah, if you married, you do. Either you're going to be with your boys or you're going to be with your wife. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you don't spend time with your guys. But I'm saying if you decided to have children, they didn't ask to come in this world. So your children shouldn't have to suffer, you know, having millions of babysitters when you brought them into the world. So since you brought them in, since you went down the aisle and say, I do, then yeah, you're going to have to make some sacrifice. Because if you wanted to be married to your boys, you should have just stayed with your boys. I'm saying. So
I'll say it like this. I heard a line that said, you get what you tolerate.
Yep.
The sum total of your life is what you tolerate. So if you are going to tolerate going with your boys and that's what you're going to get.
Absolutely.
So I'll speak to the middle C. So of course we did the phase where for real, my wife complained all the time. Like, yo, I ain't seeing you. All you doing is working.
And KARL, for those of you who don't know, KARL a workaholic.
Non-stop.
I'm talking about workaholic. KARL, like, hey, KARL work.
You look up grind.
Yeah. No,
KARL right in this.
Hey, KARL
right next to it.
I'm talking about KARL working till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning,
serious.
jumping up at 6. He changing diapers and got one hand on the laptop at all times.
So what I did, and this week I posted it in the Breathe University community. I woke up at 4. I schedule, you get what you tolerate. I scheduled my first client meeting at 5 a.m. I'm like, we're going to get this done. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so went to the gym. Ken got me working out, y'all. I'm
Ken
telling
looking
you.
like
Ken trying to
muscle
sexy
man.
the whole ETA squad out.
Woo! Anyway, y'all.
No, KARL with him. I'm not with him anymore.
But go to the
He's
gym.
walking with the mall walkers.
Hey, I'm in the gym. We getting in the gym like 5:30, 6, somewhere around there, getting back home by 8 o'clock. My kids, my wife are getting up. I'm spending breakfast with them, hitting some work. And I posted in BU a photo of me literally pulling my daughter. She can't even ride the bike. She don't know how to pedal yet, but I tied these 2 strings on the front of the bike. And I'm pulling the bike with her, and I posted, this is the reason why I scheduled a meeting at 5 and why I got up at 4, because I want to put this. This is what I'm going to tolerate.
Sleep is for suckers.
I'm being real. You can get what you want, but you got to decide what really is your priority. If that's your priority, you figure out a way to get it done.
Figure out a way to get it done.
Ain't nobody said you got to meet at 11 o'clock in the day.
Yep.
You get your meetings done. You get what you got to do done. I'm saying you could get it done, but it's got to be important.
Let me say this to you guys. I'm on a retainer with the Florida Gators. Listen to me. I left at 6 o'clock in the morning to get hour and 15-minute drive to the airport. 2-hour flight, a 2-hour drive from Orlando to Gainesville. I was there for 30 minutes talking to the staff, an hour talking to the team, and immediately at 3:15, back on the 2-hour. Look, 2-hour drive to Orlando, 2-hour flight to Detroit, hour drive to the crib. Listen to me. And I got home and watched my wife's favorite show. We sat. Let's do 9 o'clock. Post it up.
Let me tell you something.
Post it up.
That show, I don't know what's in it.
It's nothing in it.
On it.
Terrible.
Listen,
Nothing in it. My wife is in it.
Hey, look, we in Australia. I kid you not. This is not a joke. We're in Australia. Me and E had to sit down for 30 minutes to calculate what time it was back in the States and see what time do the haves and the have-nots come on.
And schedule everything around
And this dude sat on the couch in their little apartment condo thing they had for us and FaceTime watched haves and have-nots. So Diddy holding the camera at the TV. And he watching the phone so they can watch it together.
And talking.
Oh, during the commercials, they breaking it down like play-by-play of the game. They like, this shit, nigga. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
I'm watching soap operas. This is what this is, right? But I know that that's gonna make my wife happy. That's quality time for her.
You're depositing.
What do you call it? The 5 love languages, for those of you who haven't had a chance to read it, the 5 love languages. But all we're saying is that whatever it takes, I'll do whatever it takes. So I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to make adjustments. And I got home to watch the show with my wife. I got home enough time, for her to feel like we had quality time. And I demanded that you fly me in, you fly me out. I demanded it. Yeah. I'm not going to spend the night away from the crib. No layovers. Whatever we got to do to make this happen, we got to do it. So it was a longer day for me, but I was at home the same night. Wife don't have to sleep by herself. My wife said, I'm married. I ain't married you to be by myself. So look, and this is why you got to be great. Because 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to demand the time that I fly. I wouldn't have been able to demand a car service. I wouldn't have been able to demand those things. So, let's make it happen, guys. Work-life balance.
Yeah, no, and I think the thing that, I have to do better at, especially now, with the babies and all of that is, when you are with your wife,
lock it in.
Yeah. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
What kind of all that back in the day? Abstraction.
Oh, yeah.
Abstraction.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no. And my wife, you remember my wife used to call it focus time. She was like, we spent time together, but it wasn't focus time. Like you haven't locked in. And so I think that's the thing that I need to do is because we can get, the phone, at some point, I'm like, you gotta make a conscious effort to get rid of your phone. Because for real, you know how it is. You don't check your phone for an hour, you got 30 texts. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I be feeling bad. Sometimes y'all be on the group text and I see E and KARL going back and forth for like a half hour and I jump on and have to read through the thread like, dang, my bad, y'all. But I try to put it down as much as I can because my wife love to be like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll just be watching TV and I might not even be interested in what's on. And so I have my phone like this and I realized that it annoys her for me to even be looking at my phone. We might be watching America's Got Talent or something. And she like, what are you doing? And I'm like, dang, and she got more of a corporate job, so hers is like, when she come home.
And she can cut it off.
Yeah. So it's a different hookup. But I'm looking at, now I'm like, okay, you need to do better. Like, go put your phone on the charger in another room and just leave it there. Like, you're not going to die. Like, y'all got the number to the house. If y'all want to call the house phone, I got a house phone now. Shout out to the house phone. He talked me into getting the house phone. No. Let me tell you something. You know what's so funny? Like, I'm on the phone with E and Diddy and they teaching me how to buy a house phone. That's how you know. I'm like, yo, I ain't had a house phone like since back when I lived with my parents. So I'm going to Diddy like, you want to get the one with the clip so you can clip it to your shirt. So when you walk around.
Three-way call.
right. So I was actually, I bought a house phone. And, you know, I guess if y'all need to reach me or if it's an emergency of any kind, which I can't imagine, you know, what that would be at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday, but, you know, if y'all need to reach me, you can reach me there. And I know you guys, and I say that because I know you're respectful of, you know, my time. You get some people who not respectful of your time. And so I realized that, yo, you can't answer every text. Like you're not really respecting my time if you know I got a newborn, a 2-year-old, and I'm married, and you text me at 10:30 about something that could have waited till tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. You know, but you trying to be, you know, on my line. And so I had to realize, and I'm really still working on this, yo, put the phone away and lock in with your wife. Even if y'all not sitting there having a deep conversation, just lock in while you cooking, lock in while you eating, all of these things. And so I think that's what's helped me, you know, and can, you know, something I'll continue to work on.
And let me just say this, you know, to people who are listening, and you got to hear what I'm saying, right? It's not deep, but please lock in. It's hard.
It's not deep.
It's not deep.
Yeah. It's hard.
Very
what we're
shallow.
saying, hard. We're not here telling you that it's easy. It's a challenge. But listen to me. People are quantify average because that you can't find solutions. Like you can't break through problems. People are good because of their relationship with problems. People are great because of how they deal with problems. Like so, all I'm saying is that if you sitting here saying like E.T., that's tough, bruh. What you saying is hard. Absolutely. Like you're right. It is. I told you before. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But it is a joy. Listen to me. It's a joy when your wife say in a public arena when she don't talk much, what's higher than the queen? Like tell me what's higher than the queen. Because that's how my husband treats me. Like that's a great feeling.
That was a line right there. Diddy dropped the line.
Yeah, that's a great feeling when you've been working all these years to get to that. Like that's what I've been trying to get to. You know, when your wife wants to travel with you. Like for real, you gotta understand, we are empty nesters. Everybody who are empty nesters, like some of y'all don't realize how difficult it is because your whole life been your kids. Your whole life been them and now you and your wife by yourself every day, all day. For a lot of cats, they couldn't handle that. Being with their wife all day, every day. Like that would drive some people crazy. I'm loving it. Why? Because from day one, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted my marriage to be like from day one. So has it been easy? Absolutely not. Have I been perfect? Absolutely not. But have I won the game? Absolutely. So what I'm telling you is when your children are my son's calling me. Now again, my man 21, he not perfect. He not even like me. Like some of the stuff that I would want, he doing some stuff I wouldn't even do, but he got to live his own life. But he still calls me every day for prayer. That's next level. Like he don't got to call me. He calling me every day on his way to Rock Nation as a sports. Like every day he calling me.
21-year-old.
Telling me what's going on.
Yeah.
My daughter, every day my daughter called me like, yo, Dad, what you think I should get for my dorm room? Whatever. And then let me tell you something that happened yesterday, y'all. Woo! Woo! Because I'm trying to create a legacy. Let me tell y'all what happened yesterday.
Drum roll. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I wish I had, man, I can't even show it to the fellas because I don't think my wife sent it to me. Let me tell y'all, we went to go get some ice cream yesterday.
Don't show us that then. You know, so I'm scared.
That was my son's birthday yesterday, not mine. It was my son's birthday yesterday, not mine. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I can show
No, it wasn't my birthday.
Oh, man, the hip-hop preacher, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, we went to go get ice cream, guys.
Yeah.
And the place we went to, I guess they didn't have what my wife and my daughter wanted. But my son got something. I walked in, who's sitting right there? The president of Michigan State University. You know what I'm saying? So I pull her to the side, talk to her about Jalen, talk to her about Jada. She goes into a deep conversation with my daughter. You know how many people never get an opportunity to meet the president, you know, of the university, and it's because she had a conversation with my daughter, asked my daughter, for all y'all leaders, pay attention. This is the president a
Major.
major
I'm talking about major
distinguished institution gets up and asks my daughter, yo, if you think it was one change we need to make, what change you think I need to make?
Wow.
You feel me? And then immediately took a picture with Jalen and Jada. You talking about legacy.
Wow.
You talking about my son and my daughter right there at the same time with the president of the institution, you know? And it wasn't my son's first time, of course, but as a family, my siblings are together, the siblings together, boom, so what I'm saying to you guys is like, yo, if it was easy, everybody would do it. I'm not telling you it's gonna be easy, but what the three of us can tell you, the three of us, it can get done. So all y'all struggling with the work-life balance, that's why it's a struggle. So struggle. But get on the other side of the struggle, because I'm telling y'all the other side, like they might not be like ET. We're exactly where we want to be financially, but they not worried no more about, remember we're not getting paid. They're not worried about that no more. They're not worried about their bills like that no more. Now, we still got some growing to do, but they're so far from where they were 6-7 years ago. And so they are a prime example. If you grind, man, these are the things that can happen for you. And it will happen. Like, don't let nobody fool you into thinking you're going to do all this work. You're going to get up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. You're going to do all this grinding, and then it's going to end in failure. It's not. If you look at my family and my life, it's going to work itself out.
On the podcast, the webinar we did yesterday, somebody put a question like, yo, what is this BU thing? And like, y'all just came on here to push BU. Like, y'all just trying to sell something. And this was I'll tell you, this was the first
Yeah, because that's us. You know
right.
us.
No doubt.
Always
No
sell
doubt.
us.
We always
know
sell
us.
something.
You see the private jet behind us and the Rolls Royce. That you know how we do.
My answer to them was exactly that. I was like, here, let me explain something to you. Yes, we're selling it. And why we're selling it is because we experienced it and we know it worked. It worked for us, number one.
Absolutely.
And now we got people in BU, 1,000 members strong. And we got people in BU that we talked about it yesterday. I mean, came from nothing. And you could see in a matter of months.
The way my man put it on the Breathe University call, which is why y'all need to be on BU. This is an excellent time to tell y'all that this podcast is brought to you by BreatheUniversity.com. Go to BreatheUniversity.com, use the promo code BU special for 50% off your first month. But listen, this is why it's so important. We had a financial guru on the line who I'm talking about broke down some massive nuggets in terms of how to accumulate wealth and things of that nature. I talked about it last night on the Breathe You webinar. Listen, guys, just because you don't see us posting pics with Lamborghinis and Rolls Royce and private jets telling you to join and stuff like that.
Don't mean we ain't never been on one.
Right, and it don't mean that people ain't making some real adjustments and then going to the next level financially because of their time in BU. I mean, like, and we just, listen, guys, that's just not our swag. We're not big on the watches and the jewelry and stuff like that, but trust me, this is a multi-million-dollar company too. And we've accomplished some major things, and we know how to get to that next level, and we're bringing the people who helped us do that right to you live and direct. And somebody on the call, what he said on the call was, stop being scared to push your products. He said, that's what your gift is. If you were walking down the street and you're a cardiologist and somebody was having a heart attack on the side of the street, would you say, I don't want to force my services on them? So for us as entrepreneurs, if we know there are people out there who need help, who need to go to that next level, and they struggling in their marriage, you have a responsibility to help them.
To do.
And that's why we're doing what we're doing. So this is brought to you by BreatheUniversity.com. Go join us, sign up, all of that good stuff. Real quick.
I always used to think C was reading that. He be saying it so smooth. This is the first time I'm seeing you. I was like, he actually be saying that out of his head.
Freestyle.
That's on his phone right here, Carl.
No, phone black. Stop it. Stop it. You can't never let me win. You know what I'm saying?
It's right there,
He
Carl.
can't never.
He just smooth with the teleprompter.
Yeah, right. So with that being said, I do want to transition into maybe a little bit hotter topic. He almost burned down his house a couple weeks ago.
I forgot about it.
Hey, Carl was like, where's he going with the
I was hoping we would take it to another episode.
You know what I'm saying? So, we promised the people that we would talk about.
And we must give the people what we promised.
We must give them what we promised.
It's our responsibility.
Right, especially when it's about me.
Yeah, for sure. So let me just set it up how I heard it.
Right. I feel like this is a Martin episode or Good Times. You know, we got multiple versions.
Yeah, for sure. So all I know is he calls me panicking, and he calls me, I'm like, hello? And he was just like, shoot. And I'm like, yo, what's the problem, bro? He's like, shoot. You know how he does. He's like in that reflective mode where he don't know what to say. He's like, shoot, see? shoot, I think I burned down the house. And I was like, what? He was like, I don't know. The fire truck's on the way. Keep me in prayer. I'm going to call you back. I'm like, yo, what? So then I finally talked to him, and he a little bit more clear-headed. And he was
About
like, yo.
the fire.
He's like, yo, shoot, see, I almost burned down the crib. I'm like, what did you do? And so, I'll let you take it from there. But that was my initial thing.
Yeah, well,
and
I
then
didn't know how bad I burnt the house down. Okay, so let me just tell y'all what happened. And for real, I'm always trying to, like, for real, not just make y'all laugh and, have a good time, but I'm going to give you a lesson, from this. But what happened was I had to it was that long trip that I talked about.
Yeah.
To Gainesville. And again, I told you I'm on a retainer, so I had to do multiple, training sessions for the team. And this is specifically for the football program. So it was an early morning. And unfortunately, guys, man, detail. There were multiple trips to Orlando. So you know me, I saw 3 trips that they already scheduled. I'm in my Delta app, and I see 8:30. But what I did wrong, was I wasn't looking at that particular day. So I'm thinking that one too is at 8:30. They all got to be at the same time. 8:30 this date, August, 8:30 late July. I'm thinking they all the same. But that one happened to be 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I told Rondell the wrong time. So I hit Rondell back like, yo, we're going to have to leave about 15, 20 minutes earlier. So take a shower, go through my daily routine, burn my incense, right? So burn the incense, take a shower, jump out, take the incense.
Which, by the way, I didn't even know you did. Did you have any idea he
I
burned
heard him
incense?
and Rondell talk about it like a couple
I've
months
never
ago,
heard
but I
he
never
talk about
seen
burning
it.
incense.
Yeah,
So I burnt the incense, right? Got out, and I put the water on the incense, like I always do. Put the water on it. Now I do something that's probably not the wisest thing to do.
Here we go.
Now
Here we go.
And this is the funniest part. Hey, Carl, we must put the picture on. We got a picture of this.
I'll put it on the
Hey,
website.
yo, I promise
I'll get
y'all.
it. Hey, y'all go to the
Listen.
website, hit podcast. I'm gonna get the photo up.
No,
on
no,
the
no.
episode.
Listen, go to the yo.
If we watching it now, guys, if you can,
Put it on the
edit it
screen
in.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll edit that in. But if you're not able to watch this on YouTube because we're watching it,
go to the
put
website.
it on the website. Yeah. Y'all will die laughing at how irresponsible. You need a Smokey the Bear. I'm talking about you need some fire safety info. I'm talking about right now. Fire Marshal Bill.
So here's what happens, guys. And again, like,
where did you put the incense? No.
Just
No
answer
nuggets.
it. Just answer
Where
it.
did you put the lit fire incense?
I'm coming, y'all. Y'all gotta let me go. This is my story, right? So as I explained, I put the water on it. So I take it because it's a longer incense. It's not a small one. It's a long one. So I always drop it. There is a what do you call it? A paper towel dispenser. So I drop it in the paper towel
With the
dispenser.
paper, with the paper
Absolutely.
towel. A
Absolutely.
full roll of Bounty on the joint.
For the last 3 years, guys, every day, routine. Boom, dropped it in there, right? And so I dressed, ran straight out the house.
Of all the places to
Paper towel.
And this is in the basement, guys. So it's not like, because my wife is a, what do you call it? She is a real light sleeper. So I'll never do it in our bathroom because she's a light sleeper. So this was in the basement. And our room is, nowhere close to the basement. Now, my wife normally gets up at 6:30 in the morning, 6:20. But for whatever reason, this was a Thursday that it happened, and she works from home on Thursday, so she doesn't get up to 7:30. So my wife got upset. Now, mind you, this is a whole hour and 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
So the incense is burning for an hour and 15 minutes. My wife gets up, her daily routine, goes to the kitchen, and she calls me panicking like, yo, she was like, what did you leave burning? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, cause I didn't know what she was talking about. Cause the movements was
Now,
so.
where are you? You about to get on the
airport.
flight.
I'm about to get out the car to go
Okay.
into the airport. So when she calls me, she like, yo, no, she just said the house is on fire. And I was like, the house is on fire? I'm like, how could that happen? I'm like, what did you do? Now, mind you guys, I'm being honest. I did the same thing I always do. I put water on the incense. So it's not like I took the incense and dropped it immediately into the dispenser rushing. I put water on it. But what I realized, everything flashes quick. What I realized was because I took a shower, I normally don't burn it while I'm in the shower. I take it out. But I was in the shower. So Carl, how do you call it? It burned longer. So when I put the water on it, I did put the water on the fire. So the red part you saw go out. But it smoldered, right? The bottom wasn't all the way out. So Diddy called me and was like, yo, E, the smoke is all the way upstairs. So I'm like, I already know the house. I don't know if I burned the bathroom down
or the whole downstairs.
Or the whole downstairs. Because she said I tried to go down and find out the source and take it out. But she was kind of like, it was too much smoke. So we called the next door neighbor, you know, because my boy Mike is a firefighter. They called the fire department. The fire department's coming. Diddy's like, E, this is why I love my wife. Diddy's like, yo, E, there's nothing you can do. You're not a firefighter. Just get on the flight and go do your thing. Go speak. I'm like, what? She's like, no, just go. You can't do nothing. You an hour and 15 away. But I was like, yo, I can't get on the flight, D.
Oh, no way.
Not knowing.
I'm trying to get back.
Yeah, if I burn the house down, I don't know what I burned down.
You see you on the flight just listening to his iTunes just
man.
jamming for the house.
So I'm sitting there, man, like, yo, I know I messed up. And it hurt because all I could think about was like, yo, this is a fire that I caused. You know what I'm saying? And so the fires are coming. You can hear the neighbors. Can't nobody get out the neighborhood because like people trying to get to work. It's 7:15 in the morning, 7:20. So people can't get to work. Diddy told me like it was so bad that 3 firefighters came. You know, fire trucks came, police officers. Like they had the medics out. Long story short, I hear Diddy say, I think they about to break the glass in the basement because they can't get through the. So I'm like, shoot, I messed up. I don't even know if insurance gonna cover this foolishness. I'm gonna have to get a couple gigs to get this taken care of. You know, then my house gonna smell like smoke forever.
Yeah.
And so I just told Rondell, turn around. Let's go back to the crib. So while we turn around, I'm listening. They in there doing their thing.
That must have been around the time you called me.
Yep, because I was like, at that point, I'm like, yo, I need to call.
Yeah.
And I didn't really call nobody because I'm like, it's happening now. But I'm like, I got to call my support staff, you know. And so then Diddy's like, yo, they crawling down the stairs. The smoke is so large.
I'm talking about moving.
She's like, they got to crawl now. They crawl, get in the basement, and they get to the source of the fire, do their thing. And y'all, like I said, y'all got to see the picture because lo and behold, what happened was the paper towel never caught on fire. What happened was, and is it the smoldering, is that the correct term? So that's what it was. It was just, it created, because it was smoke and not fire, it created smoke, and the smoke was just everywhere, but it never caught on, like it never caught fire. So when you look at the picture, it's on the sink. The sink is no smoke on the sink. There's no smoke, there's no fire on the glass. The wall next to it is a beige color. There's no smoke, nothing on there. It just burned the actual paper towel, and that was it. And so I was just like, man, praise God.
Side note, where there's smoke, there's fire is a complete trash myth.
Yeah.
We can debunk that now. I'm saying,
But when you guys see the fire, but when you see it, it's going to blow your mind.
What was so funny, though, is now that it's over, obviously.
It's over.
Right.
But it must have just smoldered one. Yeah, that's why y'all got to look at the picture.
Yeah.
One piece of paper towel at a time in a circle.
Because it was
so
an hour.
there's 400 of them.
Yeah.
I'm talking about one by one. And what you're left with, it looked like a cartoon. When he sent me the picture.
Hey, plugins for your birthday. I'm going to get you a whole set of plugins.
So that's what I was going to ask you, though. How long did the smoke smell last in the house?
Yeah.
It actually didn't last. Like I said, my boy Mike is a firefighter, so he brought over some solution. You know, so upstairs was only maybe a few hours. You know, we left the thing over. So that next day,
Was it something he wiped on the house
it was
or
just
spray?
and he brought a fan and was just like, yo, he sprayed, let the fan do its thing, keep the windows open. So about 24 hours. But that actual bathroom, I think was.
So you ain't got no window in that bathroom.
Still ain't been in there.
Yeah, so the bathroom was probably only a week maybe. But the other, like the basement itself, maybe a day or two. So it was.
So we're going with candles now, or?
I was gonna say I'm plugging.
I'm gonna be honest
I'm
with
gonna
y'all.
get you some plugins.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And C taught me this a long time ago when I would have an air. C would always say, E, well, the best thing for a picture that messed up and hit a home run is to get back on the
get back on the mob.
Get back. And I mean,
right
bro,
back
this
out
is a
there.
lesson for you. But look, this
Keep
is
shooting.
what I want to tell you guys for real. I almost burned the house down. Like, for real, this is no joke. Like, for real, I almost burned the house
With your
down.
wife inside?
Yeah, with my wife in the house. Listen to me, and this is why. Routine, guys. Like, and I know we talk about routine in a positive way, but sometimes you could get in such a routine that you really not analyzing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say you analyzing in your mind, but you kind of going through the motions. It was something C said the other day that was deep. C was saying sometimes mentally you're so engaged in a thing that you're not thinking. So you could be like, where are my keys? You ever done that, Carl? Where's my phone? And you had your phone in your hand.
I was looking for my contacts.
And that was it.
In his eyes.
I promise you. That's the worst, perfect example of that. I'm like, yo, I can't find my oh, they in there. My bad.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm saying, we're teasing, but we're
That's
being for
next
real.
level, yeah.
My routine was, while I put the water on, and to get this, you know, to take the fire out of the incense, I did it.
Yeah.
I went through the motion. I cut the water on, I put it under it, right? But what I didn't do was really see if the entire fire had gone out. Like, I didn't, you know, and then boom, put it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying to you guys, routine is deep. We talk about muscle memory, but don't get to a point where something becomes so routine, your marriage, it's just so routine now that you missing stuff. You're not thinking no more about your marriage, your children. You're not thinking your job, your career. And what we try to do here at ETA is every gig I get, it's like it's the first time. Like, we try not to get so comfortable, so, you know, cocky, so conceited that we miss stuff. We try to pretend like every gig we do is the first one we've ever done, and we starting all over from scratch, guys. So yeah, they laughing and it's a little funny, but when my wife called me, like, you could hear the fear in my wife, like, yo, and my wife, for real, we work for everything we have, and we haven't really, like, we don't own like a lot of stuff, but my wife was about to go downstairs and take that fire out because in her mind, she was like, yo, this is what we work for. And to hear that, you know, trepidation, that fear, that anxiety in her, when she called, to think that everything you work for could possibly in seconds burn down, that's not a good feeling. But it all happened because I was rushing and I was just going through the routine.
Wow. Well, we're grateful that everything is okay and that we can have a good laugh about it.
Now, how did she deal with you after, though?
You know what? It was the craziest thing, y'all. Didi was calmer. Like, even though there was some anxiety when she got outside and called the fire department, she was like, oh, I ain't worried about nothing. Look, get on that flight, go make that money, do what you do. You know, she was, man, calm. She laughed about it, joked about it. She was like, yo, I wanted to
She hit me. She was dying laughing.
Yeah,
she was like, honey, Douglas done almost had me on some backdraft.
I mean, she was like, I'm a little hurt. I wanted to get the kitchen, the living room remodeled. I could have got the remodel boy, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't happen this time, so we're going to have to spend some money to get it remodeled. But she was actually in a good spirit, but definitely every day after that, she was on some, did you lock the door? Did you make sure you don't burn the house down now?
Yeah, no doubt.
So I had to burn the house down jokes for a good week or two.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, real quick. Oh, so we got the boot camp coming this weekend, which we're super excited. I believe it's just about sold out. We packed it with as many people as we thought was comfortable this time. And so, man, we're looking forward to that. That's this weekend. We got some special guests coming in. This afternoon, we'll be with Sway. We're going down to Detroit. Sway and Joe Osteen.
E.T. and Joe Osteen. Who thought?
We're having an event down in Detroit, so we're on our way there this afternoon. I'm sure we'll Periscope, although this probably won't be out until after we come back.
Yeah.
Right. And then, man, it's exciting. We got Saturday and Sunday is the boot camp. We got all kind of cool stuff for people, man. We got, I just saw the bags, the swag bags, all the stuff we have. So shout out to everybody coming to the boot camp. We look forward to seeing you guys bring your energy, your positivity. We're just going to go in, man. It's going to be an amazing experience.
You know what's so crazy, though, C? I did the Florida gig this week. You know, we got the podcast, we did the webinar. Of course, Joe Osteen today. We got the boot camp, whatever, church. We probably going to come together Friday with a meeting or whatever. And I'm laughing like, yo, this is a light week for us.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Promise y'all.
It's crazy.
Honestly, it felt right.
This is a light week for us, bro. Like, I'm just like tripping on how far we've come.
Well, that's what, remember, I told you though, that's the crazy thing about it. Remember we were doing like all them cities, like we were in Australia and we did like 5 cities in 5 days, and they was like, oh, I know you guys must be just exhausted and worn out. I said, look, we staying in 5-star hotels, flying first class. I'm talking about feet up. He done had 4 chicken sandwiches on the flight.
Chicken schnitzel.
Chicken schnitzels. We speaking 1 time per city for an hour. I said, do you know back in the day, we was in a Hyundai Sonata.
I'm talking driving 12 hours to
driving
go to
12 hours
Jersey.
to get there, doing 5 schools with some kids who didn't want to hear it
And then
a day.
And then a week of prayer or something that
Going
night.
That night.
At the
He
church.
was preaching that night.
Yeah.
And we would do that for 5 straight days, hit about 40 different schools. And I said, and all of that, staying in a 2-star hotel,
2-star.
driving a Hyundai Sonata.
Continental breakfast.
Right. And so then they like, oh, you guys must be exhausted. I'm like, yo,
This is light work, man.
we get back to the hotel and be like, okay, we in Australia, what can we do? You trying to write a book or something?
Right.
Like,
For real.
we're not
Y'all
used to
think we
having
playing.
that much time.
We writing a book or
absolutely.
we doing something.
Absolutely. Last time we did, we just finished PhD.
Yeah,
we was like, yo, we
for
got so
real.
much free time.
Oh
Let's just
man,
work
on the
PhD.
plane, that's what we was doing.
Oh, and let me tell you
Yeah.
something. They was pissed on the
Yeah,
plane.
yeah.
They was pissed.
They trying to
He
sleep.
trying to figure out, yo, it's got to be pitch dark on the flight for 16 hours straight. We hit the light like, boom. They looking
talking
over
about
like,
I'm talking
you
about
know, we in
Carl,
first class with the
papers
lay down
everywhere,
boys.
Carl. Papers everywhere. Research.
Oh, we talking.
Data.
We whispering, trying to do the whole nine. My man shushed. No, it was a woman.
Are you
She looked
serious?
at. He was like, shh. He was like, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Because
It's
what happened
16
was on
straight.
one of the
I'm trying to
legs-
figure out how you want.
Either there or that back. I think it was there.
It was there.
It was me. I was at the end. C was the end. They had one person in the middle.
Oh.
No.
It wasn't?
No, it was just a different flight, so we were separated differently. We was right next to each other.
Yeah,
but
but
it
we were
was
separated though.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
like
We were like
right next to each other.
right,
So
right.
we was kind of bothering the person, but we were still
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
in.
no, but yeah, well, no, we was working on the paper. So nah, man, that's the beauty of the grind. Now it's like, yo, you find other stuff to do, and obviously now, you know, with us and where Carl is moving to, is you're using your brain a little bit more than you are your hands, and you know, that's how you know you're growing as a company when you know you don't physically have to do as many things. And we've talked about Carl, you know, kind of growing in that area. But absolutely, we got some cool things coming up. Also, before we jump into the Ask ET, August 6th, you guys heard us talk about it, but August 6th, we're in Atlanta doing the 5K run
I
with
gotta start
Patchwork.
practicing for that.
Walk, run, again.
Maybe I'll do a
again.
run
I have
combination.
a 1-month-old. I will be walking. If you want to join my team, the ETA team, we team ETA. You could jump online and join our team.
Okay.
They can join our team. So if you want to join our team for the Patchwork 5K, go to etinspires.com/events. Get your tickets for the 5K. And we're doing the 5K in Atlanta in the morning. I believe it starts at 8 o'clock, somewhere around there, 8 o'clock in the morning. So it'd be nice and cool so we can get the 5K in. And if you're not a runner, you never done a marathon or whatever, don't be intimidated. It's 3 miles. It's go at your own pace. I'll be walking with my family and some strollers and stuff like that. So don't say, oh my goodness, I ain't been in shape, I ain't this. You walk
Yeah,
as
just
much as you
out
can
there.
walk.
Yeah, and you can run as much as you can run. We'll be there to support
And run
you.
as much as you can run. E has vowed to do it in 21 minutes. You know, we'll see if he's able to attain that level.
Who's timing E?
I don't know. But EA time is 21. If I do that, I might not be able to do the conference that night.
Ken
7 minute miles.
said he's not going to be able to make it to the 5K, but he will be holding the bodybuilding competition next door to the 5K. He'll be doing
Bring the muscle
Speedos.
milk.
And the
protein
Speedos.
shakes, bananas, and push-ups at the tent next to the 5K. And then
muscle protein drinks.
And then that night, we're gonna do the conference, man. And the conference is gonna be off the chain. It's gonna be crazy. We're doing some phenomenal things with the Average Skill Phenomenal Will Conference. So we look forward to seeing you in Atlanta. We'll be down there early, so hopefully we'll do some radio and some press and stuff like that. But that's gonna be a fun time. Without further ado, let's get into the Ask ET segment. Ask ET, let me see if I can do this. It's brought to you by ETA Grind Gear, redefining the grind one day at a time. Listeners to this podcast can use the promo code Secret to Success and get an extra 20% off at checkout. Go to etinspires.com/shop.
Look at his back of his head, y'all.
See if you got something written somewhere.
and get the discount, man. We got some dope new shirts to honor your craft, the Dream Vision Grind. I would take y'all and show y'all.
Be You Strong is
But,
the hottest shirt. Of course, you can't
we
buy
can't
that.
get that.
Yep,
Yeah, you
Be
can't
You
get that,
Strong.
though.
Be You Strong.
Yep, for only for the BU members. So let's get this underway. We got some questions. CJ, what is the first thing you would tell a brand new entrepreneur? And that comes from Chris in New Jersey. Quality. You know what I mean? Quality. Listen. I told you, we got up early and got to the airport early, and so did E and his wife to get Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we changed up our whole, we literally left the house 30 minutes early so we could go to gate A, because we wasn't in gate A, we was in gate D. Got off the train, you just heard me talk about, we got Avery, Trey, we got the whole unit, got off the elevator, got off the train, got on the elevator, rode it up to gate A just to go to Chick-fil-A. I get to Chick-fil-A, the line is, wrapped around the building. He took a picture of it, I think, when he was there. Yeah, same thing. There's a breakfast spot to the left of Chick-fil-A.
Immediately right there. Yeah.
With not one person in line, and I gotta wait 25 minutes to get to Chick-fil-A. And Trey running around crazy, and my wife sitting there like, I don't do what you gotta do, but I want Chick-fil-A. I'm looking like, boo, can we, you know what I'm saying? Can we? She like, nope, I want Chick-fil-A. So I'm saying, what are you doing that is enticing people to come and come over and over? Listen, we live in Atlanta. It's a Chick-fil-A on every corner. Right. So it ain't like, oh, this is the only time we can get it. That's how quality the food is, the quality of the service is, that my wife is willing to make exceptions in our schedule in order to get it. And so when you're building your product as an entrepreneur and you're building your brand out, slow down and ask yourself, is there a need for this? Do people want it? And then can you provide that high quality service time in and time out? You guys are listening to this podcast because we come in here and we give you 120% every single time. Trust me, if you came and one podcast was good and the next one was bad and then two in a row kind of sucked and then two of them was good and then was bad, you'd have stopped listening by now. But the reason you listen on a regular basis is because we're delivering a quality service each and every time out. So stop and ask yourself, are you delivering a quality service? The next question we have comes from Samantha in the UK, and she says, is it true you're coming to the UK?
Whew, yeah, true. I'll be there September 24th. I'm coming. Let me say it over again. September 24th.
Yep.
I'm coming. London, I'm coming.
EricThomasLondon.uk. EricThomasLondon.uk. Get the tickets now. We coming. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to that.
Right circumstances, guys. That's what it's all about for me. You know, I'm just not trying to come to a city to come to a city. A lot of people like, South Africa, when you coming, Africa, when you coming. Definitely coming, guys, but we just want to make sure it's the right circumstances so when we get there, we could truly be a blessing to as many people as possible.
Yep, James in California wants to know, I know you want to win the Nobel Peace Prize, but what's one thing you hope to accomplish before that?
I guess for me, really making a difference in the school systems. You know, like I really think that's like a major gap in our country. There are a lot of young people, you know, who are not getting, you know, first of all, who are not taking school serious, you know, and don't understand the value of it. And then there are a lot of teachers who love the craft, but don't necessarily have all the tools they need to help all of their students. And I'd really like to come up with a solution. Well, I think I have somewhat of a solution for it, but I'd like to be in a position to do that type of training and to have a facility, like not we go into a school, but literally we have an academy where teachers during the summer can come and get training from us, and then throughout the school year, we can educate some of these kids in the colleges across the country over the next 4 to 6 years when they're getting their advanced degrees, and then putting them into these institutions. So I think that's something very tangible that I'd like to see happen that will be a cause, you know, and effect as it relates to the Nobel Prize.
Dope, appreciate that. And before we jump into ET's nugget of the day, Carl, you got anything for the people? I want to make sure, what are we looking like on the upgrade of the BU?
Upgrade.
So I had the conversation with the guys, a couple technical things that we're trying to work on, but we're looking at literally just a couple days, y'all. Literally a couple days. Our BU members, y'all ain't gonna even know what happened. Y'all go to sleep one night and see our current system, which we love. No disrespect to it.
No, it's hot.
But we just reinvested everything that we got right back into this new system.
And hey, man,
I'm telling you,
everywhere we go.
My man said that was the one thing. The financial advisor, I don't know if y'all caught that, the guru, and this guy we talked about who was on the Breathe University call the other night. To all the celebs, a lot of the top entertainers in the world, this guy is a financial advisor for them. And somebody asked a question on the line. They said, as an entrepreneur who's making some money and looking to invest, what do you suggest we invest in first? You remember what he said?
100% yourself. 100%.
And I was like, wow. And that's what we did with Breathe University on this platform. We just dumped it right back into the system. You know what I mean? We want to see it go to the next level. And so we want nothing but the absolute best for our people who join us in this journey, man. Shout out to everybody in Breathe University listening to this right now. We are a family, y'all. If y'all didn't get a chance to see the webinar, Karl, can they see the webinar anywhere?
We'll probably replay it. We'll put some out on social media or something so you guys can see
y'all got to
it.
check out the webinar. Just some dope testimonials from some people who are in BU right now. Just a whole nother level, man, and we're going to another level. We got gurus coming in from all over. I don't want to let the cat out the bag on some of the stuff we're doing with relationships and the singles and the marriage stuff. And why do we do this stuff? Because that's who we are as a company. Y'all know us. We are mind, body, soul, relationships. All three of us married, all three of us kids. You know what I mean? Like we believe in that grind. All three of us, school, education, church. Like, yo, that's just who we are. So, and we've been blessed enough to do it at a high level in all of these areas. And so we just believe in that whole thing. And I think sometimes people look at it and they're like, oh, is it for me? Is it this? Is it that? Let me tell you something. We got some ballers in BU. You know what I'm saying? It's some people making a whole lot of money in BU. It's some people with some great marriages who you can learn from in BU.
People who've accomplished some stuff that...
No exaggeration. I saw a post last week. I'm not going to call her name, but she said, wow. She said she shocked herself. She's like, wow, I just made 14 grand sitting at my computer.
And I just got, and I promise you. And see, like I said, I don't even like doing that because that's not who we, like I told you. You don't see the Lamborghini. He been on a private jet plenty of times. How many times you seen us posting the private jet? Nothing against it. And I'm not saying we never will, but it's not like he gonna be like every time like join BU and flash a picture on the PJ because we understand what it really takes to get to that next level, and we understand that it's a process.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking to go through a process and you're looking to start from where you are and get to that next level, that's when you need to be a part of BU. If you're looking to drive a Lamborghini tomorrow, you got to go to the other guy. I don't know how to teach you to do that. But what we can teach you how is if you have phenomenal will, we can help you get those skills together that you need.
Let me say this too, like, and again, we're not being disrespectful. There are people with gifts, so we are saying that they're, you know, you want a chicken sandwich, you go to Chick-fil-A. You want a Big Mac, you go to McDonald's. But if you want to go home and you want your wife to be super duper excited when you walk through that door, when you want your wife to stop what she's doing and spend time with you, when you want your kids to speak well of you, you understand what I'm saying? We tell you, come on home. When you want to be able to look at yourself in the mirror, you know, when you want to be able to sleep at night and have a peaceful rest, when you want to be able to get on the airport, go to airport or go to restaurants and have people say, you know, hey, you poured into my life. Like if you want to leave a legacy, you know, if that's what you're interested in, because here's the deal. That big house you buy, once you die, somebody else, and they're gonna sell it. They're gonna sell it for cheaper than what you paid for. That car, somebody gonna get that for less than a third of what you paid for. But I'm saying, if you want your grandkids to speak well of you, if you want the city that you grew up in to speak well of you, you know, if you want to leave a legacy, this is the place for you. If you just want some short-term success, you just want to be able to say you had a car, you had a house, go somewhere else. But if you want to be able to say you made a difference, and when you die, that difference continues, you know, to produce, like your life produces after your death, I promise you, if you want to leave a legacy, you want to fool with BU. You want to fool with us.
Absolutely. I think that's perfect timing to roll into ET's Nugget of the Day, sponsored by KARL and Ken's workout, 6 a.m. workouts. And Ken's new line of protein shakes coming out in the fall.
In the fall.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Back that up and do it again.
Okay.
And this time do it with the two of them and what they really coming out with the audio. They need to know about it.
Let me tell you something.
Say it.
Don't play. Come on, Ken.
Ken weighed 132 pounds
so I'll say,
6 weeks ago.
So it's funny. So what he's talking about.
Come on. Yeah.
Look at Ken. Flex one time for me, Ken.
Come on, man.
Flex. Oh, yeah. So, here's the joke.
I've been grinding.
So we got a new line of protein shakes coming in the fall. Go ahead.
No. In all seriousness, man, it's about 2-3 years. E been on our head. CJ been on our head. Y'all working too much. It's people that need to know the information y'all have. And I promise y'all, we sat down literally this summer and just put a course together, man, and it literally walks you through our process. How we took E from literally, y'all seen the first TGIMs at Michigan State in the backyard outside in the snow. Literally, we walk you
viral
through
to
the
viral.
process of showing
Yeah.
you, what we did, what equipment we used, showing you we didn't always have the cameras we had now, how we use the phones, how we use, whatever we had, the selfie sticks, you know what I'm saying? The little, your little headphone is a microphone, whatever we had, we showing you all those tips and tricks, man.
Yeah.
So the courses come out. Here's the joke, y'all. When we started shooting the videos, Ken was my size. Literally, we was the same size. And by 6 weeks into it, Ken is that dude right there, y'all. By 6 weeks.
From viral to viral.
Ken ain't a bodybuilder. Like, Ken, what in the?
Hey, but no, all seriousness, man. Give us literally a week or two. We're trying to time it with the BU launch. So our upper BU members, they'll get it. Just being a part of the BU, y'all get this
And let me tell y'all something. I seen it. Yeah. And the people at the boot camp gonna get it this weekend. But any line of business you're in as an entrepreneur, small business owner, speaker, whatever, you're gonna need this information. So absolutely, we'll come up with a title for it.
Oh,
later.
we got it.
Oh, you got it.
The blueprint to going viral.
Oh, the blueprint
From viral to viral.
Yeah, absolutely.
So brought to you by.
Yeah, right.
From viral to viral.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man, and we look forward to checking that information out. Like I said, at the boot camp, they're gonna get that information. They're gonna do a presentation. At the boot camp, I've been putting that pressure on them to get it done, and me and E like, yo, y'all got to get this done. The information is valuable. People always want to hit us up. What camera do you use? How do you change your lenses out? And a whole bunch of other stuff. I have no idea what it means, but these guys do, and they can help you with that process. So with that being said,
just before that
I
being
need
said,
to get out of here.
I don't, but Ken, can you do me a favor? Can you bring this to me, Ken? Just real quick, I need y'all to see this. The dude thought this was me, but he didn't realize prophetically.
Troy. I remember Troy.
Troy sent
if you
this.
listening to
he
this,
didn't know this prophetically. Is this the picture?
It
Y'all
was
gotta
Ken.
go on YouTube to check a look at this. But this is Ken.
Yeah,
it was
Ken
Ken.
didn't know.
Yeah, he saw
he saw it, but he thought it was me. But you can't get like this walking with the seniors in the mall in the morning at 10 o'clock.
Oh, you definitely
But you can't get this eating bananas and drink protein shake.
Hitting a couple of raw eggs.
A couple raw eggs and some aged cheese.
and with the Rocky theme
With
music.
the theme music in the back. So I can, I will, I must be buff. All right. I wait for Jesus to come to get my muffins.
I'm going to Dr. Miami and pay for me some abs. You know what I'm saying? See if he can just sculpt me out.
I know. All right, I'm ready now.
Yeah. All right. So
Set me
now,
up.
with that being said,
Set me up. Set me up.
because I got to get home and spend some time with my family because I'm at the boot camp all weekend, and I got to go to Detroit this afternoon. ET's Nugget of the Day.
All right, so real quick, guys, as we get ready for the Nugget, it can happen. Like, for real, I need you to really listen to what I'm telling you. We are coming to you every week, and our message is simple. It can happen for you because it happened for us. Like, for real, that's all we're trying to do every week. We say a lot of stuff for an hour and some change to say to you that this is not rocket science, that is not exclusive like you think it is, that, like, it can't happen to you. We're not getting on every week talking about us so you can hear about us. We're telling you that if you're listening, that if you have a heart, you have a soul, if blood is running through your vein, you can have the marriage that you always dreamed of, the relationship with your kids, the financial success, to dominate in your profession. But here's what you got to do. You got to be willing to face every fear, climb every mountain, defy every odd. You, my friend, have to be willing to do whatever it takes. You have to say to yourself, I'll do whatever it takes. And if you're willing to do that and outlast every single trial, every single tribulation, if you're willing to get back up after every defeat, if you're willing not to give up or give in, if you have what it takes not to quit, I guarantee you one day you will make it to the top. So it's your boy E.T. saying I can, I will, and I must.
I must. Hey, appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to everybody who checked us out on Facebook Live.
Periscope.
Shout out to everybody who's gonna watch this on YouTube. We usually don't post them up on YouTube, but
shout out to
the video,
Australia. We'll see you soon.
The video is up on
Glenn
YouTube.
Twitter.
So go check that out, man. We appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We'll see you next week.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You make this, you concentrate on this opportunity.